Hello and welcome to the CFC Talk podcast. After a lot of conspiracy, um, we finally returned back and we are continuing doing the podcast. But a very tough draw to take against Man United at Old Trafford after not winning at Old Trafford from 2013. We did manage to get a draw tonight, 0-0 draw. A new formation tried by Frank Lampard, a new system 3-4-3 today we saw as Aspilicueta, Thiago Silva, and Zuma took defense. So quite a lot of hate on regarding that on Twitter, but we're joined with our specialists, analyst and hosts, Alex and Amart as usual. I'm going to try and find their views on tonight's match. But firstly, Amart, just a summary of what happened throughout the match. How was it?
Um, I don't know. I don't even know how to put it. I think I'll use the same thing, the same reaction with the Sevilla game as well. It was very, very good defensively. Defensively, we were on top of our game every chance we were able to shut it down, and I enjoyed that. Even in the beginning, we had some openings to take the lead, but fortunately, we couldn't take our chances. And yeah, I'm not entirely excited about um how um offensive we were. How yeah, our offense wasn't really the best, but defensively we were very, very strong. And at least it shows that at least Lampard is learning. He's improving. You know anything? A lot of people say that he's not good defensively, but in the last two games he has proven that with the right players and without any individual errors, we can keep a clean sheet. But it's just now we need attackers to also perform. So I think he's learning, and I think he'll find a balance soon. So I'm excited with how we defended, but I'm not too excited with how we attacked. But I know the balance will come, and we'll be able to um, start winning games again.
Hopefully it does, because it does kind of look disappointing when you see that the past three results have been draws. One against Southampton, and then against Sevilla, and now again another one against Man United. But Alex, your opinions on tonight's match?
It's a frustrating one. No, I think it's a divisive result again for the Chelsea fans. We can't all be happy with it. It's great to have the clean sheet, and I was quite impressed with how Lampard set up the team in a way. Where we only managed a shot on target, and they had six shots on target, I think. But Mendy kept us in the game. Mendy was brilliant tonight, and yeah, it's an annoying one because the defense, literally the whole defense, all five of the defensive players tonight were all brilliant, and I'd all say they were amazing. But then attacking, we were let down by some poor decision making, and yeah, it's hopefully gonna come with time as Lampard keeps going on about forming relationships on the pitch, and Havertz and Werner are still getting used to their new teammates and getting used to our patterns of play. So it's a tough one, but we're going to have to wait until. I think when you look at our predictions at the start of the season, we all thought, oh yeah, we're going to be scoring goals left, right, and centre, but we've kind of. It's not. I think it's clear now. It's not going to be like that for some time, whilst our attackers still learn to gel.
Yeah, I think just to add on to both of your points, I fully agree with whatever you both said. But on that note as well, I think when we played tonight with the 3-4-3, it kind of felt like we were trying to tell Man United, we're not here for a win. We just want to draw. A point is all we're going to be happy with. And then one of the key points I would mention is the passing in the final third. I think we're still struggling with passing around in the final third, creating chances. Even if we do get crosses, there's not enough people inside the box to head it in. And then at times when we have to do really quick and fast passes, we're struggling to do those. But Mark, going back to you, how good we talked about how the defense was really good, but one important aspect of that is Edouard Mendy, the new signing.
Yeah, most definitely is is the man of the match. Experiences we've had in goal previously with not only Kepa but with Caballero too at times. So it's refreshing to see a goalkeeper who is confident in his goalpost. Is very confident. He positions himself well and he's tall as well. So he is able to make this kind of diving shots and he's able to reach most of the chances. And he made excellent saves tonight. And probably if he wasn't there, we would have lost this game because they had more shots than us. They had more shots on goal than us. So yeah, definitely Mendy is my man of the match. He's definitely a man of the match for I'm sure for many Chelsea fans as well because the Chelsea Discord was going crazy. Everybody shouting Mendy, typing Mendy, Mendy. He was good. He was good. When Cavani came in, Cavani had a first touch that nearly resulted to a goal. Mendy was quick to cover that post, even though he wasn't even close to that side. His height really is a very very good advantage. So yeah, definitely Mendy. Good performance, excellent performance.
Alex, your man of the match for tonight, and one notable performance from someone.
This is for once it's an easy one, even though we didn't. It's not the best result, but it's clear that Edouard Mendy, without him in the goal, we would have lost this match. He, especially at the end, Rashford had a fantastic shot into that was going like top bin or top corner or side netting, and he pulled off a fantastic fingertip save. But it's just, yeah, man of the match is absolutely Mendy, and it can't be argued for anyone else. But Thiago Silva, I thought, was also excellent. It seems like he's put behind that West Brom performance, and he's just playing extremely well right now. And it's what we've expected these performances from him because coming in as such an experienced defender, and that's what we need. We need experience in our back line. He was absolutely brilliant as well today, but man of the match goes to Mendy.
I think we talk about Mendy as a man of the match, but we need to also mention how in the 29th minute, when he tried to do a back pass to Thiago Silva, I think all of our hearts dropped.
Yeah, almost scored imagine if he had scored an own goal like that. Oh man, Sky Sports would have had a field day. They would have been, yeah. But yeah, they
Czech would have run down the pitch. I was like, nah, I'm coming on. That's it.
I loved it. I think when he did that, the camera then panned to Czech, and Czech was like,
Yeah.
"You what? What did you do?"
No, but overall, respect to Mendy. You know, when Cavani came on, that save, and then there was one in Mata save in the 40th minute, and then 35th minute another good save, and then in the 90th minute as well. So overall, Mendy, I think, in my opinion, as well, deserves the man of the match. Purely of the fact that we've now kept 2 clean sheets in a row. Can't remember the last time when I said that. So it is big. It is a big thing. And then other than that, I really can't find anything to talk about other than so we've talked about the best player. Now let's talk about the worst player in the team, Alex, this time. So who would you say was not fitting this system that we had tonight with 3-4-3?
It's a tricky one. There are a couple of players in my mind right now. One is Kante, and the other. Or the thing is, there's two things. There's players who don't fit the system, and then there's players who just did not play well. It's like, and Kante off the ball I thought he was good, okay, but then on the ball, just like he's been in the past couple of games, he's not been that great. And I want Kovacic to be playing a bit more instead of him. So yeah, but then there's also Werner. That some of Werner's decision making today was subpar. So yeah, it's a toss up between Kante and Werner. I'm gonna go with Werner because yeah, if he had picked some passes when he had looked up to see Havertz free, then we probably could have scored a goal or two. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Werner.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Kante wasn't really looking that well. I mean, there were times where he would off the ball, he was tackling, but then when he was on the ball, he kept losing it. Couldn't string along quite a lot of passes. So Amart, does this put a question on Kante and his and does this mean that we might want to see Kovacic and Jorginho in that area instead of Kante and Jorginho now?
Um, yeah, I agree that there were some instances that Kante um, misplaced certain passes, but the thing is, I don't feel like that is a job that he's supposed to be doing. Jorginho stayed back today. Jorginho was very very good today. He stayed back a lot. Jorginho is the one who's supposed to be moving forward more, and Kante is supposed to be staying back. But for some reason, Jorginho is the one who stays back, and Kante moves forward. We all know Kante's kind of like attacking prowess isn't really the best. We all know that in defense, like you guys are saying, off the ball, he was fantastic. He was winning a lot of tackles, a lot of balls in the danger area. He was able to take them away. But the thing was, he wasn't able to find not a lot of times though. But in the first half, it was happening quite a lot. But the second half was um, better. But like I'm saying, he's supposed to stay behind whilst Jorginho goes in front. But when he stays behind and he acts like the fifth defender or the um, in this case the fourth defender in that three back, I think he's best there. But when he's tasked to go forward or he's tasked to go in front and try to get a defense splitting pass through or something, that's where he falls short. So if he does that, that's when we like see that he wasn't his best. But I'll not say he had a bad performance. I'll give it to Werner, unfortunately, because I felt like he was lost throughout the game. Even when Tammy came in, you could tell that Tammy was also suffering from the same issue. But yeah, with Werner, he had certain chances to take the lead at least, or to score, or to um, give a pass or something. But it just ended up going backwards, and that was one issue too we had today. The backwards and sideways passing was just too much. Like it was crazy between Jorginho and Kante, and then back to Thiago Silva and Zuma and Chilwell and Kante, and it was just crazy. Like the sideways passing was very very frustrating to see. So yeah, I'll give it to Werner because I feel like he didn't even have a field day today. Today wasn't his best day at all. Probably Kai also didn't even have a good day today, but I think Werner was he can't Kai was a little bit better than Werner today. It was crazy when they both came on. They both came off at the same time.
I think that was the wrong substitution. I think Havertz should have stayed on.
And I feel like Havertz should have been replaced by Ziyech instead of being replaced by Mount. I think he should have been replaced by Ziyech. Ziyech should have come on for Havertz, and then we'll have Pulisic on the left, Ziyech on the right, and then Werner in attack. So we'll see what can come from that. But I didn't feel like when Mount came on, he was very good. He was very active on the ball. He was winning a lot of um, balls and all that. But I don't think that was the best solution. I think Ziyech should have come on earlier. It was past the 60th minute, and if Ziyech has been getting like 30 minutes coming, so I was feeling that was the time he should have come on so that we'll see what and how that three will work. But it didn't happen like that.
Okay, so let me try and this may spark a bit of a debate, but um, in defense of Werner and Tammy Abraham, what I would say is okay, we played a system where we had almost five defensive players. So there was at times there was no one to support Tammy Abraham and Werner. So with that, they weren't getting enough chances. Yes, we played out wide as you said, but at times excessively we had to go wide. And once we went wide, there was no one available centrally because usually when we go wide, there's Kante who moves to the left, Jorginho to the right, so our centre's always open. So there was no one to support Werner and Tammy Abraham. But this begs a question where, Alex, do we think we want to play this way against Krasnodar in the Champions League or even in any team in the Premier League?
Well, I actually think in some of the big teams, I think the system can work, but against Krasnodar, absolutely not. We need to score some goals, and it's not the best system. It is, yeah. I didn't like it, but there's not much we can do. We can't play more offensive central midfield players. We can only play Kovacic. You can't play like Kante and Mount or something, or Kante and Havertz in a two there. So yes, we did have essentially 7 defensive players, but there's not much you can do from that point of view. And then the 3-4-3 doesn't really suit Havertz that much, I don't think, because you lose a winger by playing 3-4-3 with Havertz on the right. So yeah, it's I'm fine with seeing it against Liverpool or Man City, but yes, against Krasnodar, no, we need to go all out attacking. I think we need to score some goals to prove that we've not just become clean sheet merchants or basically Burnley by moving or going into speaking the clean sheets. We need to. I mean, we have a ridiculous attack on paper, and we need to start showing it. I'm not expecting for huge. I'm not expecting us to win 6-0 or something against Krasnodar. That would be nice, but we got to score. We can't have a 0-0. We can't have a 1-0 even. In fact, I would probably not even be happy with a 2-0. I really want us to score 3 against Krasnodar, and I don't think we'll score 3 with this conservative 3 at the back.
You want our sponsor to get the best deal possible. So far, they've been getting good results. They've been getting good results with their number in it. So getting 3 will help them.
Yeah, that's the thing. When it's 3, it's yeah, and Frank Lampard's been committing a heinous crime in not conceding or scoring 3 in a game. So he needs to get back to doing that.
What I was gonna say is when the season was about to start, we looked on paper with our squad and we said defense is still weak and we don't have enough players and talented players, I should say. And now that we look at it on the field, we've kept 2 clean sheets. The defense looked incredible again today. The passing in the defense was really good. I mean, at times when they were pressing really high, we made sure we broke the press. And okay, yes, Mendy did make that one error, but then we also have to understand that Thiago Silva and Mendy were insane tonight. So overall, there's improvements in defense, but now that our defense is improving, there's a lot of issues in our attack and midfield. I feel like Lampard is only concentrating on one position or one position, which which leads to the others leaving left the way they are. But I don't think there's anything else to talk about today's game except the final rating. So Amart, what would you give the game out of 10?
Out of 10, I'll give. This is a difficult one. I think I'll give a 7/10 because I feel like what you said, issues that we had in our previous games, the defensive issues that we had in our previous games, has been solved. So we looked very very confident at the back with the confident goalkeeper to back. I think I wasn't like I said, I wasn't pleased with the defensive structure and the offensive weaknesses, but with um the result as a whole, I'm okay with it. We've been crying for a clean sheet. We finally got 2 in a row. So I think a draw away to United, team that just beat PSG, is okay. And so I'll give them a 7/10.
Um, Alex, your rating?
I think a 7 is good. Whilst I am still very frustrated and I don't want to see us draw another 0-0 game for the rest of the season because I'm sick of them. They're just seeing 2-0 is depressing. But you really have to give praise to Mendy and the defense, especially in the stadium that we always lose or draw in. I actually cannot remember the last time we won at Old Trafford.
2013 was it?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? 7 years. So yeah, I've got to give a 7. Although I'm not happy with most of the attack or midfield, but the defense was just superb. I thought, especially Mendy. Hell, Mendy alone, I think Mendy's performance alone gives the whole team a 7, just from his performances alone. It was a 7 is fair.
I think I was gonna give give them a seven, a six, sorry. And then I've just read this stat right now as I'm scrolling through some of the stats that I'm trying to find. Man United have scored in their last 29 games, which is quite a good achievement, even if it's just one goal or two goals, they've managed to score for 29 games, and we're the first team who have constricted them into not scoring a goal, which is good, and which is why I'll also give them a seven overall. Um, incredible, incredible defense, but then really bad attack and the lack of opportunities and the lack of, I think I would say, understanding between the players in the attack is kind of getting on every fan's nerves. Yes, every time we do draw or lose, we say we want to take the positives, we want to take the positives, but sometimes we have to say there are no positives from this game. We've done this before, and that when a positive is done every game, you consider it normal. And now, because of the defense, our attack just looks all over the place. And against Krasnodar, as you mentioned, 100%, 1-0, 2-0 is not going to do justice. We need at least 3 to 4 goals to make it seem like our attack is worth what it is. With the attack of Pulisic, with the attack of Ziyech, Werner, Havertz, these are world-class players. And if they do not score against Krasnodar, which we'll discuss in a bit, it will be very, very bad. And uh, looking back at the Man United game again, I think we're hearing news that Christian Pulisic will be out for 2 weeks, but that is not confirmed at the moment. Frank Lampard has not made a comment on that, so we'll probably have to fact check that before we make a statement on that. But yeah, I think that sums up the Man United game.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a frustrating one, but looking forward to the next couple of weeks. And yeah, it's annoying that Pulisic got injured, or has maybe an issue, but we'll see.
I think that sums up the Man United game, but next up we've got Krasnodar in a Champions League fixture. Of course, if you don't live under a rock, you would know that we drew against Sevilla, but luckily Krasnodar drew against Rennes as well. So we have a chance to still top the group. Of course, a very easy group, I would say. Alex, we can get top two. We have to qualify from this group, but do we have a chance in being taking that top position?
Absolutely. Remember, Sevilla have to come third, so someone's got to finish first. It's going to be us.
I like the confidence
Yeah.
after a drop.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's. I am confident. I am confident we got to win tonight to kick it off properly. I want to see us. My main ask for this Champions League group stage is for Azpilicueta to not be our top scorer. Please just let it be an attacker. It's yeah, that's the main thing. It's I just want. We haven't had a game where we've gone ham in attack since I think when Zappacosta scored on his debut in our 6-0 win against Karabag, I think it was. We haven't had a game like that since, and yeah, I miss it. So yeah, it would be nice to have a really convincing win. And yeah, I do think we can come first. I mean, you can call me arrogant, but our team is just way better on paper than for sure Krasnodar and what's the name of the last team again?
Rennes.
Yeah, Rennes. Sorry. Yeah, hell, we bought Rennes's keeper. So yeah, we have way better quality than those two, and even Sevilla was frustrating. But I'm hoping, but by the time we play them again, we'll be firing on most of our cylinders. So yeah, I am still very confident that we can finish first in the group.
I think at this rate, we don't need to fire our cylinders, but we need to make sure they're on boosters. Like they just need to go off the attack. I want to see at least a hat trick. Be it Werner, be it Havertz, I don't care. Be it Thiago Silva, I need a hat trick. Like I want to see Chelsea celebrate that win, and it's been so long since we've had a match where we would have said, yes, this was a match where we can't say this went wrong, this went wrong, this went wrong. And it hasn't happened in a long time. So, Amart, um, let's say we don't win the group, which is very highly unlikely. Um, what are the what would you round up our Champions League campaign as then?
If we don't win the group, I don't think we will, or we are just in case. I don't think we need to talk about that because I don't think I don't think we will come second. I feel like we will. I feel like we will win the group. It will be I don't know. It feels like it will be harder to lose this group than to win the group. So it's easy. It's I don't want to call it easy because it'll be like I'm disrespecting the other teams, but
I think after 6 game weeks in the Premier League, if Everton are first with 0 losses, then anything can happen.
yeah, exactly. This season has been just um a strange one, a very very strange one. So yeah, with Krasnodar, I feel like we can easily get a win there. But I don't know whether any of you watched the Krasnodar versus Sevilla, but I watched the replay and I don't know. The two of them are very good in defense. The two of them are very very good in defense. I don't think they have enough attacking threats, but their defenses are very very strong. So we like you said, we need to go all out. We need to all out in attack. We have to um how to say it. We have to fire on all cylinders. Really have to. And then this you see the thing with winning this group is if we win the group, we can get a favorable draw for the round 16. But if we finish second, that's when we might meet the big guys. And when we meet the big guys, then we will struggle. I don't want us to meet Bayern Munich anymore because they seem like they haven't changed from last season. They are still doing what they did last season. So I just want us to beat them, beat Rennes, and then Sevilla again, and then we just we have to just win the group. It will be very. I don't think the fans will be happy if we don't win this group.
Yeah, 100%. This is a group that we need to win, and we need to make sure we get maximum points out of. I think when we did our predictions um, before the season started, I think we all predicted Chelsea to go beyond round of 16, and I think if we don't win this group, then I'll be surprised if we can get past round of 16. But I can't find the predictions right now because I'm going through my book of notes again, as promised. 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'll publish this as an actual book. It's basically an agenda against Kepa. So let's say that.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, just every we lose, even the bench, I just circle his name. I'm like,
It's
Kepa,
just a dartboard
Kepa
with
vibes.
his name on it. Yeah, Kepa wasn't even on the bench tonight, so I was saying.
Okay, I mean, I do all of those jokes about Kepa, but yeah, I'm not a terrible human being. Of course, I would wish him well, speedy recovery. Of course, we want to sell him, so we want to make sure he's fit.
Hmm.
Um,
His shoulder was hurt from carrying the team too much.
I would think otherwise. I think he was carrying the balls to the training ground and then he just
No,
slipped
he was
over.
carrying the team, so he couldn't grace us with his presence this time.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the mutual hate towards Kepa. This is what unites the Chelsea fan base. That's one thing we can agree on this season.
I don't. I mean, it's not. It's not. I don't think. I don't think it's hate. It's just that I used to defend Kepa a lot, but after that mistake against Southampton, it's like I'm just done defending him. This performance tonight just shows that he's way way better than Kepa. So unless Kepa starts pulling his weight and getting better, I don't think I can defend him anymore. But I don't necessarily hate him. He's gone through a lot psychologically, mentally. He's gone through a lot, so it's understandable. But at the point that we are now, we can't risk having Kepa in goal.
Yeah,
100%.
and the thing that bugs me is that people think that he has a mentality problem. When I'm pretty sure Alex Goldberg said something like Kepa has a mentality problem. When I just don't understand. Just because he's playing poorly and he's not made any complaints, he doesn't kick up a fuss or anything. He knows that he's made mistakes, and still
So yeah,
people accuse him of having a bad mentality. He evidently wants to fight for his Chelsea position, but it's just really not working out for him. And once you're stuck in this rut of not having any confidence, then it's incredibly hard to get out of. And he just needs to get out of Chelsea, go to a club that he's not under huge pressure to perform in, and then I know that he will. I'm certain that if when he goes to another club, he's going to pick up performances. Some players are like that. I mean, Bakayoko was somewhat similar, where his confidence was just shot at Chelsea. Then he's had some good loan spells, and now he's a really and he had a manager who believes in him in Gattuso, and now, but Bakayoko's brilliant for I've heard he's done really well for Napoli so far, and he was great under Gattuso at AC Milan. I think Kepa, if he gets something like that, I think he's going to be back to being not. I don't think he'll ever get to like the 70 million to be worth what we paid for him, but I think he'll get back. He'll regain his stature as a good goalkeeper.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100% respect to Kepa. Gave it his all. I mean, as much as I sit here and say stuff about him, joke about him, I've got respect for him playing at a club like Chelsea, even if he did play the way he did. Even before the season started, I had hopes, and even after that Liverpool error and when Mane scored that goal, I had hopes. But there comes a time where you have to be straight up with the player and say, sorry, this is not going to work out. And I think that's the case with Kepa, where we have Mendy, we have Caballero, and then we've got the legendary Czech as well. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see an appearance from Czech, even if it's just a 10-minute appearance, just for fun against maybe Krasnodar.
Yeah, I mean, if I would be happy to see Kepa start against Krasnodar. I think it's a good game to get his confidence back up. But apparently, he has a shoulder issue, and he might not be available for it. So I guess I think Willie Caballero will come in probably, but I would have liked Kepa to have started against Krasnodar.
I think that sums up the two games that we've got coming up. Just, I think that sums up everything, right, guys?
I do think so. It's a bit tricky to comment much on when. Oh, there was one thing as well. The ASP.
Oh, how did we miss that?
Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry viewers. Yeah, we absolutely have to talk about that. Let's do it now.
Okay, so I'll start off by saying Maguire thought Azpilicueta was one of those Greek polices. Slam dunk. I mean, you could say he thought he was in the UFC fight, but that has to be if they say if there's comments saying they checked it through VAR and it said no penalty. How did they even stop the game for that challenge on Anthony? No, not Anthony Martial, on Rashford. Stand VAR at all? Like, it's the nemesis of football. Let's say that.
I'm just saying that I saw that, but when I was watching, I saw that I was just screaming at the TV because that was. I think I tweeted it out. That I said that was clearly a I watch wrestling a lot, so in wrestling, I think that would be a chokehold. That's a clear chokehold, and that tackle was bad, very very bad. I was livid. I was screaming at my TV when that happened because if we had lost, that would have cost us the game.
The VAR thing is ridiculous. To be fair, I think when I was watching it, my internet cut out, so I didn't actually see it live. But I saw so many replays of it, and it's just ridiculous that didn't get given. It's not the first time Maguire's gotten away with not getting a penalty or a sending off. I mean, we had Maguire kicking Batshuayi in the nuts like last season, and I'm pretty sure there's been other issues with Man United just not getting the right justice. Almost like now it's come to a point where we shouldn't even be surprised. So yeah, really pisses me off. But what can you do about it now?
I think there should be a system where Premier League clubs can appeal against a decision. That way, at least the referee knows whether it was in the wrong or it was the right decision.
I think they're professional enough to know when they've made a wrong or right decision. The whole appeal process. I mean, unless you mean like right in that second. But what's the appeal process going to do? They can't. The issue with the VAR isn't the VAR; it's the people behind it are making the wrong decisions, and by letting them appeal it, all that's going to do is take the decision back to the referee who's already made. Sorry, take the decision back to the VAR, and they've already made a wrong mistake, so just going to get a wrong mistake again. So the only way to fix it is just by having these officials make better, the VAR officials making better decisions. And it's crazy that some of the decisions they're making right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, I've watched cricket, and with cricket, we you can review on the spot, but that's because cricket's not played over 90 minutes. Um, and there are pauses in cricket, but with football, there should be a rule where the manager can request for a challenge.
Yeah,
We've seen it in basketball. Basketball is quite similar to football. The timer keeps going. The timer only stops when the ball goes out, which technically cancels out because football has injury time, but basketball doesn't. So,
yeah,
in the end of the day, if there is a challenge that the um, manager or player or the captain can make on the spot, that would change the game so much. If the referee has the time to go off the field to check VAR, he can surely go off the field and check a challenge.
yeah. I actually think, I mean, I really like the challenge, the way that they do it in tennis, basketball, and all that, and cricket in a way. So imagine if like you removed some of the VAR from the game, say have the game solely refed by the linesman and the referee, and then if the manager feels that they've made a mistake, then they have like a three challenges per like three VAR challenges a game where they can take the decision to VAR so that VAR isn't checking absolutely everything.
It is very important to look at those decisions and say, these are game-changing decisions. It's not about just getting it right or wrong. If that was right, Jorginho converted that penalty, um, we would have won the game. So it's about, I think this is where Premier League is going wrong on this is there's either no rule book where it says this is wrong, this is right, and the referees are just allowed to do whatever they're comfortable with, whatever they think is right and wrong. And once that comes into play, some referees would find that as an offense, some referees would find that as a just a carry on play. And until the Premier League comes out and says, "Hey, this is a 600-page rule book that you have to follow," this tells you whether this challenge is wrong or right. There's no other answer. There's no maybe, or there's no conditions applied. It's either right or wrong. Until that happens, there's no point of using something like VAR. And when you start second guessing, which is what's happening right now, some referees would have given that as a penalty. Some referees would not give that as a penalty. So overall, you could argue both ways. But if VAR needs to continue the way it needs to be changed.
I think we just have to accept it at this point. VAR is not the perfect thing, but neither was the initial refs. So what's the point of it if VAR is still making mistakes and referees are still making mistakes? I'm sorry, if referees are making mistakes, but then once VAR is added in, they're still making some mistakes. Then what's the point of it? But you could say that the whole VAR system is making less mistakes than before VAR, so it's working. It's not perfect, and I think it's unreasonable to ask of the system that it is perfect. But for obvious things like that, it's pretty ridiculous that
Yeah.
it's not called out.
I think, in my opinion, any referee in the world, I think even a 5-year-old would give that as a penalty.
Yeah, it's just
It
here the
was,
moment. Here
yeah,
the moment things the VAR isn't quite. It's not like it can just. It's not like a switch. They're looking at every single thing that's going on in the game. So that leads to missing things or not checking things. But yeah, it's crazy that they didn't.
So thank you guys for watching the episode. If you are watching it on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and leave a like rating. If you're listening it to our audio platforms, and make sure to add it to your playlist. It really means a lot when you guys play it. Big things coming up hopefully soon, so make sure you follow all of our socials, and we'll be expanding to more social media platforms in a few days or weeks, and also we'll be relaunching some new stuff. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.